Imagine just for a moment you're in a room with a group of people, all looking at you. You're standing there, completely calm, unruffled, straight face. And then there's something that you don't say. There's this gap, this pause. Everyone's waiting. They don't know exactly what's going to happen next, but they sense something is coming. And you just let the silence stretch a bit. You feel the tension building. Not a word spoken, but the tension. It's like the air itself holding its breath. It's like when you're holding the handle of a balloon and you know it's going to pop, but it hasn't popped yet. There's this tiny, exhilarating building pressure, and all you have to do is hold it. Hold it just a little longer. Do you notice how the longer you hold the tension, the more electric it becomes? It's almost as if the waiting itself becomes the joke. You haven't even said anything yet, but the space, that wait, it's already funny. And then when you finally break the pause, when you deliver whatever it is you've been building up, it's not just funny, it's hilarious, it's unexpected, yet perfectly timed. The tension has been so great that when you finally release it, the laughter floods in, just like a dam bursting. Because the contrast between the serious, straight-faced build-up and the moment of release is so stark. It's as if the mind can't quite believe what it just experienced. There was a build-up, and when you finally break the tension, it's like a pressure valve released. And that release is just so sweet. So think about it. The more you extend that tension, the more you create anticipation. Have you ever noticed how, when you create that kind of tension, people, they start to lean in. They start to expect something, but they don't know exactly what. And the longer you hold the tension, the more their mind begins to wonder, what's going to happen? That is where the humour comes from. Not just the punchline, but the pause before it. Let's take a moment to think of a time when you felt that in your own life. That sense of waiting for something, and how it made you feel. Maybe it was when you were waiting for a big surprise. Or maybe it was a time when you knew something was coming, but you couldn't quite guess what it was. Doesn't that sense of anticipation, that feeling of tension, make the resolution, the release, even more exciting? The humour, in many ways, it's in the tension itself, not in the knowing, in the suspense. Now imagine you're in the middle of a conversation with someone, and you're simply holding the tension. You don't rush to fill it with words, because you know the longer you let it linger, the more your audience will feel it. And with each second that passes, they'll begin to wonder what's going on. Why is there this pause? And they'll look at you, perhaps searching your face for a sign, for a clue. But there is none. You remain still, a subtle mastery of the moment. They start to laugh, not because of what you said, but because of what you didn't say. Because of the way that you let the tension linger. Because the timing, the pacing, has been so perfect. This is how you begin to master the subtle art of humour. It's not just about delivering a punchline. It's about creating that delicious awkward silence, that pregnant pause, where everyone knows something's coming, but they don't know what. The longer you hold that moment, the more the humour grows, like a slow brewing storm that's about to explode into laughter. So next time you find yourself in a situation where you're about to speak, remember, tension is your ally, just like the pause before a storm. When you hold that moment, the humour, it doesn't come from what you say, but from the very fact that you're not saying anything at all. And the longer you hold that tension, the more delicious it becomes. You can almost feel it, can't you? The moment before the storm, the expectation, the wonder, until finally, with the perfect timing, you release it, and it's funny. Isn't that the beauty of it? That is when you realise, sometimes, the best punchline is the one that's held just long enough.